faithfully delivering value and interpreting great books from around the world. Hi, this is Sally with Book Talk. Today, I'm going to interpret for you this book. It's a dreamy fairy tale play by Maurice Maeterlinck, a Belgian playwright and Nobel Prize winner in literature. The Bluebird, what is happiness? Where is joy? Every adult wants their kids to find happiness and joy. From ancient Santa Claus legends to modern Disneyland, adults create these colorful dream worlds for children. They're told to believe they've got the best things, but kids got to grow up, When they face real life, they start wondering what true, lasting happiness and joy really look like. In the Bluebird play we're covering today, the two young heroes are pondering this very question. They accept a fairy's mission to search for a bluebird that symbolizes happiness. After a long, magical journey, the kids finally realize that the essence of happiness is in the constant pursuit. The author of The Bluebird, Maurice Maeterlinck, was a Belgian playwright. In 1908, right after this work was published, the Russian drama master Stanislavski was blown away by it. That same September, the Moscow Art Theater officially premiered it. The Bluebird was quickly staged at the Royal Theater in the UK and on Broadway in the US, followed by loads of film and TV adaptations. In 1940, 20th Century Fox released a movie version starring the legendary child star Shirley Temple. It got 2 Oscar nominations, and alongside The Wizard of Oz, was hailed as one of the twin peaks of fairy tale films. In 1976, the US and USSR even teamed up to co-produce a film of The Bluebird, with big stars like Jane Fonda and Elizabeth Taylor in roles. In this work, celebrated as the greatest symbolist drama, there's a huge cast covering humans, fairies, animals, plants, and even abstract things like food, furniture, light, and darkness. For example, they all have rich symbolic meanings. Like the bluebird symbolizes happiness, the forest symbolizes nature, perception symbolizes perception, and so on. The play features incredibly dreamlike sets and uses exaggerated sound and light effects to create a dazzling fairy tale vibe. In this atmosphere, the audience feels like they're joining the heroes on a dream journey, experiencing a tribute to beauty and light. The idealistic optimism and the true essence of exploring happiness and seeking truth. It's this dual charm of thought and art that has earned the Bluebird countless praises. In 1911, Maeterlinck won the Nobel Prize in Literature. The award citation stated that his works overflow with poetic fantasy and reveal profound revelations at every turn. As the Bluebird begins, a magical fairy tale world appears on stage. In a woodcutter's cottage, a cat and dog sleep on the floor, while a turtle dove is caged nearby. The room is orderly with a fireplace, grandfather clock, kitchenware, wardrobe, bread box, spinning wheel, wall clock, and more. Though simply furnished, it's tidy and cozy. In the room are 2 siblings, brother Tiltil and sister Mytil, children of the poor woodcutter. Several other siblings had passed away, leaving just these 2. On Christmas Eve, while parents sleep, the siblings dream of Christmas at the window, watching wealthy neighbors' lights, carriages, and children's toys, longing for such wonders. Suddenly, a hunchbacked old woman with a cane knocks and enters, dressed in gaudy clothes. The children think she's a neighbor, but she claims to be a fairy and asks, "Do you have the bluebird here? My daughter is gravely ill. She must get the bluebird symbolizing happiness to recover." The fairy then asks, "Little ones, will you help me find that bluebird of happiness to save my daughter?" "I'll guide you. On this quest, there's also a place called the Land of Memory. There, you'll meet departed loved ones. The kind-hearted children, eager to help, also yearn to see their lost siblings. They agree to search for the bluebird. The fairy places a hat on Tiltil and gives him a diamond to turn. Instantly, everything transforms. The crone becomes a golden-haired fairy, and the humble cottage turns splendid. Even more wondrously, objects morph into humanoid spirits. Time emerges from the clock, bread from the bread box, fire leaps from the hearth, water bubbles from the sink, while cat and dog become humanoid spirits. Then milk and sugar spirits appear one by one. These humanoid spirits each have their own demeanor, personalities, and traits, creating a festive, carnival like atmosphere together. The fairy said, "These spirits will join you in searching for the blue bird." Finally, the lamp on the table toppled over. Flames leaped out, transforming into a dazzlingly beautiful woman with a transparent, shimmering long veil. This is the light spirit in the process of searching for the blue bird. The light spirit has been guiding the siblings on their journey to seek truth. Tiltil and Mytil went to the fairy's palace with all these cat, dog, and other spirits. The bread spirit took 2 slices of bread from its belly. The sugar spirit broke off 5 pieces of malt candy from its fingers to give to the siblings as food for the road. Next, the siblings embarked on their journey to find the blue bird. They entered in sequence: the land of memory, the palace of night, the forest, the source of happiness, and the kingdom of the future. They encountered various birds, but are they truly the bluebirds, symbolizing happiness? Let's take them one by one. The siblings arrived at the first stop in their search for the blue bird, the land of memory. The fairy said, "There, you'll see your deceased grandparents and your old home." Tiltil asked, "But aren't grandparents dead?" "How can I still see them?" The fairy answered. "As long as you remember them, they won't disappear." Sure enough, they came under a large tree and saw the old home just as it used to be, with trees everywhere, bees buzzing around, and grandparents lying in a hammock talking about their grandchildren. Tiltil and Mitel's appearance made them ecstatic. Later, their 7 deceased siblings also came out, and everyone gathered happily for dinner. Suddenly, Mytel noticed that a winter bird they used to keep at home was still alive. Tiltil thought it was very likely the blue bird they were searching for. He got excited and immediately asked his grandfather for the bird, putting it in a cage. But when they left the land of memory and returned under the tree, the blue bird immediately turned black. So this blue bird was fake, just an illusory bird born from memories. Meterlink wants to tell us through this that people can immerse themselves in memories and even feel happiness. But once you return to reality, this happiness quickly vanishes. After leaving the land of memory, the light spirit led the siblings to the next stop, the Palace of Night, to continue the search for the blue bird. The night spirit has 2 children. One is the spirit of sleep, and the other is the spirit of death. His palace also houses terrifying ghosts, disease spirits, and so on. In the Palace of Night, everything is dark night, symbolizing life's mysterious realms. But the deeper and darker the secrets, the more humans yearn to explore. In the Palace of Night, Tiltil opened room after room, each imprisoning spirits like ghosts, disease, war, darkness, terror, silence, and others. The spirits were listless and dispirited. The dark spirits were timid and restless. Tiltil's arrival showcased how humans use medicine to conquer disease and lighting to conquer darkness. But humans still can't control war to this day. So the war spirit fiercely tried to burst out, and the silence spirit nearly caught Tiltil, scaring him into slamming the door shut. Finally, Tiltil arrived at a large gate. He recalled the light spirit saying that in the Palace of Night, there's a large gate, open it to find the blue bird. But the night spirit warned him not to open it. But Tiltil still opened the gate, revealing a magnificent dream garden with stars filling the sky and countless bluebirds flying, all nourished by moonlight. Ecstatic, the kids quickly reached out and grabbed over a dozen birds. But when they brought the birds out of the palace, all the birds died, not one left. Mytel sat on the ground wailing. It turned out these bluebirds only appear at night, obtained through dreams. and can't last. The true blue bird, symbolizing happiness, is unique. It must withstand both moonlight and sunlight, night and day. So the siblings left the palace and headed to the forest, dark, eerie, and moonlit. The forest represents nature guarding its secrets. Humans must use perception to explore. Tiltle turned the diamond, summoned the forest spirits, and asked them where the blue bird was. They found that spirits of various trees, though different in form and nature, were mostly resentful toward humans for deforestation, which cost them their homes. Chestnut and fruit trees were mocked by others for siding with humans as street trees or food providers. Then, the old oak tree approached from afar, and all trees stood respectfully on both sides. The old oak was blind, leaning on a cane, with a flowing white beard, looking like a venerable sage. Cowtail immediately spotted a bluebird perched on the old oak's shoulder. He pointed at the bluebird, wanting the old oak to hand it over, but the oak declared, "Your father has caused us so much harm. Just in our old oak family alone, over 10,000 close and distant relatives have died under the woodcutter's axe." At that moment, various animals gathered from afar, especially domesticated ones like cows, horses, sheep, and pigs, all harboring deep hatred toward humans. Faced with threats from flora and fauna, Tiltil thrust a small knife toward the massive trees, which recoiled at its sight because they feared any man-made object. Finally, the light spirit appeared just in time, illuminating the gloomy forest. All the plant and animal spirits completely vanished. In the forest, the siblings didn't obtain the blue bird because nature's truth is beyond human reach. If you persistently demand it, you'll instead face nature's threats. After leaving the forest, the light spirit guided the siblings to the Garden of Happiness. Here, flowers bloomed abundantly, bees buzzed, birds sang. Like a fairyland, the light spirit told them that all human joys and happiness gathered at this source of happiness. But right next to this source of happiness stood a cave of misfortune, symbolizing sorrow.